Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Heeren talking to you about 12.4 and 12.5. 12.4 and 12.5 both deal with the same thing. You're talking about volume, which is different than surface area. Surface area is like if you were going to paint the outside of the shape, how much paint you would need. Volume actually talks about all the space inside, okay? So if we look at this kind of solid here, if we try to figure out the surface area, remember, surface area is going to be perimeter of the base times the height plus two of the bases. So that'd be 6, 2 more is 8, 6 more is 14, 2 more is 16. So my perimeter is 16 units. The height is going to be 4 units. So my lateral area is going to be 16 times 4, or just 64 units squared. So my surface area means I got to figure out double the area of the base and add it to that. So my base is going to be 6 times 2, which is 12. So I'm going to have 2 times 12. So I'm going to take 6 times 2, which is 12, 2 times 12, which is 24, plus 64, for a grand total of 88 units squared. That's going to be my surface area. So now my volume is all the space inside of the shape. How much space does this shape take up? And the trick that I want to do is I just want to take 6 times 4 times 2. All right, so 6 times 4 is going to be 24, times 2 is going to be 48. So that's going to be units, but please notice it is cubed, raised to the third power, not to the second power. All right, so when you look at the volume of a prism or a cylinder, both follow the same pattern. You want the area of the base times the height. So whatever the base shape is, you want to multiply the area of that base times the height. For a cylinder, we know that the base is a circle, so you want the area of a circle, which is going to be pi r squared times height. These are the things that I would put in your note sheet. That note sheet I asked you to print off and fill out last week. So if I look, find the volume here. So my base is going to be this triangle. So I'm going to take 12 times 10 divided by 2. So that's going to be 60 times 11. So my volume is going to be 660 centimeters cubed. Over here, I'm in a little bit of a predicament. I know that this is 15 and this is 9. So I've got to do a little Pythagorean theorem to figure out the height. So a squared is going to be 225 minus 81, all right? So plus 81 equals 225. So that's going to be 144. So A will be 12. So now to figure out my volume, I'm going to take 9 times 12 divided by 2, which is going to be 54, times my height. The height here is going to be 10. So my volume is going to be 540 feet cubed. Area of the base, whatever that is, times the height. So here, so that's going to be 6 times 6, which is 36 times 12. Okay, because 12 is going to be the height. And that's going to be 432 centimeters cubed. Okay, this was pretty straightforward. For cylinder, what changes? The answer is not a whole lot. All I'm trying to do is figure out what my radius is. So I want pi r squared times my height. So pi times 3 squared times 8. Then just do a little calculator mashing. That's going to be 226.19 centimeters cubed. Now for 6, 44 is going to be my height. I don't need any Pythagorean theorem to help me figure out what that is. That's not my height. 44 centimeters is my height. So to figure out my volume, I'm going to take 11 squared times pi, because that's the area of this circle, times 44. So when I multiply all that together, that's going to be 16,725.84 centimeters cubed. That's going to be my answer. All right. Volume of these things is pretty straightforward. How does it change when you go to a pyramid or a cone? The answer is not much. There's only one more step. So if I figure out a pyramid, that's almost like a prism, except I'm only taking one part of that. So I still want to figure out the area of the base times the height, except here I take 1/3 of it. So this is what I would put in to that formula sheet. I want to figure out still the area of the base. That's still my height, except now I'm just going to divide by 3. That's all I'm doing. So here, base is a rectangle. So I'm going to take 9.5 times 8. All right. 9.5 times 8 times 9 divided by 3. So my answer is going to be 228 centimeters cubed. All right, for this one on the right, number 1B, I guess we'll call it. This is a right triangle. That tells me that. So I want to take 6 times 15 divided by 2. That is just this triangle. So that's going to be 45. All right, then I'm going to multiply that times my height, which is 14. So that gives me 630. Then my last piece is I divide it by 3. So this is the area of the base. This is my height. I need to multiply it by 1/3. So I get 210 cubic feet. That should be a 3. All right, so you're buying a tent in the shape of a rectangular pyramid. The base is 6 by 8. The tent holds 88 cubic feet of air. How tall is this center pole? Okay, so my volume is 1/3 area of the base times the height. So I know this is 88. My area of my base is 6 times 8 times my height. That's kind of what I'm solving for. So that's 88. 6 times 8 is 48. So 48 divided by 3 is 16. So if I take 88 divided by 16, we're going to get 5.5. So that means that my center pole, the center pole that holds up the tent, is going to be 5.5 feet. How does that change for a cone? The answer is very, very similar to a cylinder. To remember, we just had pi r squared times height. That was for the cylinder. Now we're just taking that one step further. Pi r squared times the height. Once again, divided by 3. So this is what I would put into my note sheet, or my formula sheet. So here, I want 1/3 times 3.2 squared times pi times 5.8. So some calculator mashing. I get 62.195 meters cubed. Here, this is straight up and down, so this ends up being my height. So that's going to be 8 squared times pi times 15. So my volume is going to be 1005.31 centimeters cubed. All right, that's what all you're doing. You're taking volume, which is just area of the base times the height. And then for pyramids and cones, you just do that and then divide it by 3. All right, that's all you got. I look forward to talking to you guys this week on your Google Meets.